Hello, people. Welcome to King Dave. I hope you like. I hope you subscribe, 'cause that's what I'm aiming for. We've got this nice illustration box, Raleigh Shakuyaku, sorry. And we've got this nice little box here, Kid Killer. Promos are looking good. We'll look at them a little better when we get out of the box. Yeah, so little story to tell you here. Getting this one piece, you might find interesting, or you may have had some of the same experiences. But let's get into this. So, getting this one piece and a few others. These, I went on my local Discord, and I'll back up a little second. I actually came out of my dental appointment and went on the local Discord and noticed some beautiful pictures of this one piece at a non-local Walmart. So this Walmart that I had to go to was over a half an hour away from me. The picture had already been up for an hour, and I was very hesitant, thinking, I don't know, it's probably gone. But I looked to the wife and I said, hey, you want to take a ride and take a chance? You know, it's a bit of a ways. It might be for nothing, but let's do it. So let's get these little promos out here. And we got Killer. It looks pretty cool. Nice. I know a little bit about One Piece, but not a lot of it. So I am trying my best to get to know it a little better. And already I'm forgetting to sleeve them up, which is the most important thing to do right away. So me and my wife take a ride over a half hour away, and I go in, and lo and behold, yes, there's about 11 boxes of the One Piece illustration boxes. And then there's the other boxes that are numbered. I don't know what they're called. They're the for playing the game. They're preset boxes. Pre-deck. The decks that are already made up. Put it that way. All right. So yes. We get there. I see the boxes, and I'm like, hey, cool. I'm very happy. I asked him how many we are allowed, and he said, what he said, and I grabbed the limit, and my wife grabbed the limit, and there was one left, and yeah. So we got us Moby Dick. I've got that already. And Monkey D. Luffy, and I have that. So, we, got there, got the stuff, put it in the cart, get in line, the cash out, and in comes walking some young guy in his 20s. I'm over 60, just so you know. And I don't look like I'm, 20, 30 years old. So this guy I see him bending down looking, because they were on the bottom shelf. And he gets the one, and he comes to the back of where the line where we were, but the clerk had already turned his light off a while ago. Here's Monkey D. Luffy, rare with the golden eyes. I think I have that one too. Whoops. And then we got Bosco Shot and the leader, which I have a couple of those too. So yeah. So he decides to, I told him, I said, hey, the guy's closed, his light's off. He already, told us he wasn't, he was closed, but we were already in line. And he saw what was in my cart, and he started making some comments, but he was mumbling. I couldn't understand what he was saying, so I decided just to ignore him because I knew they were not nice comments, or he wasn't very happy with, I guess, getting one box and seeing what we had in our cart. So, my question, Jewelry Bonnie. I do not have this, and this is pretty cool looking. All right. And, yeah, so he decides to mumble a bunch of trash out of his mouth as he's walking away. And I want to know what is up with these people. And I was going to go into like Generation Alpha, Generation Z, and even some millennials and stuff that, I've come across. But, I'm not going to play the Gen card. I just want to know these people. I don't care what generation you're from, nothing. What color you are, what gender you are. I don't care. But I don't understand what gives these people what they think is they have a right to just walk up to a stranger and start spewing crap out of their mouth, not knowing. Here's the other Jewelry Bonnie. Oh, here we go. Rorono Zero. That's a cool looking card. Nice. And, just not knowing me, see me there with my wife, and no respect, not a care in the world about what you look like or what you sound like, just the crap coming out of your mouth, and because you didn't like what you came up against. Silver's Rally. Nice card, nice promo. Shaka Yaku. Nice, very nice. So, when you look at these cards, can you blame me for taking the limit? Well, let's get back to the story. So he has no idea who I am, doesn't know my name, doesn't know me for nothing. And decides, and I've experienced this a few times now. With these people that just have mouths on them and think they can say whatever they want. And, I'm old school, so, back in my time growing up, you ran your mouth like these guys do today. And I don't mean guys as in men, but as in people. And, you didn't get away with it, put it that way. But today, People are just saying whatever they want, no kindness, no respect. What about just walking up and saying, hey, how you doing? I noticed that you had a few extra. I only got this one. I was hoping to get one of each. You think you could let one of those go? Little does he know, I am that guy. I am the guy that if you are kind and respectful, you will receive. And I've done it many times. I've been in line in restocks over and over, and can you do, oh man, I was hoping to get that first partner illustration series 1. This girl was, there was one left, and I was the next one to get it, and she wanted it. I said, sure, I'll leave it for you. I've done stuff many, many times, and this guy ran his mouth, walking away. Zahahaha. Yeah, I've got this one too. Too bad it's not the one we all want, right? That nice manga would be beautiful. But that's not the one. So, yeah. So his guy, we cash out. He walks away wherever. I'm hoping he's, gone, get over it, whatever. I go out in the parking lot. Now, mind you, I've been in the store because I didn't just cash out and leave. We were in there for a few more minutes. I went and checked out some other things. I go out in the parking lot, and this kid, I call him a kid even though he's in his 20s, he's a kid to me, and he acted like a kid, is sitting in his car. Now, what you don't know, part of the story, is he has a 3 to 4 year old little girl with him. So must be his daughter, I assume. And, I don't know. It's just not cool. Oh, there's one I haven't seen. Pretty cool. Nico Robin. All right. Nothing too spectacular, which I noticed with One Piece that happens a lot. But we get to the, he's out there waiting in his car and pulls up and he's mouthing off. I don't quite understand everything he's saying, but I noticed that he's got his phone up filming me talking a bunch of nonsense. And I told him to kick rocks, and he said some more stuff, but as I keep inching towards him, he keeps driving forward. So if you're going to talk nonsense, one thing is back it up, okay? Don't go mouthing off and, cause problems. Be disrespectful, unkind, entitled, selfish brat. Because if he was there before me, he'd have done exactly what I did. And the only difference would have been that me being behind him, I wouldn't have whined and cried about it. I would have just looked and thought, I got to be here earlier next time. So, it's a nice little card there. And nothing else there. So we didn't get much out of these today, but it was nice to open them. But I want to know, have you experienced some of the same things? Getting into it with people that are just entitled, selfish brats that think they can say whatever they want to whoever they want and not have any repercussions. But the kid ended up, because I kind of made a move towards him, like like I wanted to get up close to him because I wanted to tell him nicely, you know, if you had just gone about this a whole different way, things would have worked out in your favor. But he didn't give me that chance because he just kept running his mouth, swearing or whatever he was doing, calling me whatever he was calling me. And he he drove off, you know. So, I mean, at least stick around and, you know, make your point and hash it out and come to some kind of resolve. But no. So, have you experienced this? Have you gone through this? I got better. I got better than this. I told you in the last couple of videos that I've been attacked. And I don't know if I've mentioned physically attacked, but yes, I have. But that's for a later date. That's a later story. And I want to get enough subscribers and maybe go live where we can talk about being physically attacked and verbally attacked. Uncalled for nonsense is what's ruining this hobby. So, anyway, more later. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the one piece two little illustration boxes here. And we'll do some more next time. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.